earning rewards for things that they do during the game. Those are things that I did. I can remember when I was just a child. And my mom would put us on the Greyhound bus, and she would take us with $2 in our pockets to the bank, and each one of us had our own bank account.
That's amazing. I can remember, just while you're talking, I can just remember this one experience. I read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Everybody's kind of read that book. And one of the takeaways that I got from that book, and I actually did this to my younger brother, it said here, he took his son and he took him to one particular neighborhood. Remember the story? We took him to one particular neighborhood, and he said, well, this is the neighborhood where people live where they don't make a lot of money. And then he drove him, halfway across the tracks and let him see another neighborhood. And he said, the homes were a lot more detailed, and the yard was manicured. All of it, had all of the lavish cars and all these different things. And he said, this is where people live who actually make more money, So he really gave them a real life experience. I think that's really important.
Well, that's the exact same thing that my parents did with me.
Wow.
When I was in the 7th grade, I took an architectural class, and I had to draw a home. And we were poor. I lived in what they called a shotgun house back then.
Tell me about the
shotgun. So when they asked us to draw up the plans for a shotgun house, it doesn't have a hallway.
Oh, wow.
It has a wall down the middle, and 2 families live on both sides.
Oh.
But we lived on both sides of the shotgun house. So when my teacher asked me to draw up a home, I drew it with the wall right down the middle. And he asked me, what is that? I said, this is the home that I live in. And he was like, no. So I came home and I told my mother that the class laughed at me. So my mother got all of us, all of her children, had my dad drive us around in the car to different neighborhoods to show us what real homes looked like.
Wow. That is an excellent experience. That is really, if you really want to pass on to your children a lineage of things, one of them is just making the money situation real to them. I can't impress that enough. I just can't.
One thing I think is really important is also placing the vision in mind that even though your situation might seem dim, it's important to see a bigger scale, a bigger picture. So for your parents to say, you know what, even though this is our situation, this is what you can live in, this is what you can become, this can become your reality, I think that's really important.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, because that's twofold. The other part of that is, what if someone actually has the experience where they live in one of the big lavish homes and things like that? It teaches them the value of things. It teaches them how to appreciate what it is that they have. Not also just looking out to say, oh, I wish I had this. Oh, I wish I had this. It's just, it's a blessing to have certain things.
It's really nice to be able to